Okay, so I'm sending you this just to sort of, it's just kind of general advice. Once I see how you do it, then I'll be able to give you more specific tips on how to improve. But the general thing with pitching is you want to be efficient with your mechanics. You want as little movement as possible with each hand, respectively. What I mean by that, you don't want like a huge thumb motion with the deckhand, and you don't want a huge arm or wrist motion with the right hand or the free hand. And it all comes down to minimizing those motions. So two things that I'm going to tell you in this video. One is how to push the card over properly, and two is how to flick it properly. And everything after that, I'd have to, I got to see how you're doing it so I can kind of hone it in for you. So as far as how to push the card over, this is probably one of the most important things as far as getting a quick pitch. If you notice, the thumb is barely moving at all. That's on purpose. The reason for that is if you're doing this big motion, it's a lot harder to speed that up than it is this. I hope you can see the difference. So basically, this is what you're going to do, and this is how you're going to practice it as well. You're going to take the deck, just hold it in your hand as if you're going to pitch cards. You're not going to pitch cards, but you're going to pretend like you're pitching cards. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to hold the deck in your deckhand. The thumb is going to be placed on the top, and you don't want to contact your first finger here, but this is sort of the general grip. You want it locked in this position here. Now from here, what you're going to do is, well, I'll go into the grip a little bit more just to make it a bit easier. The fingers along the side here, you don't want them creeping up too much because you need to push cards over. And if they're blocking the edge, it's not going to happen. So you want those fingers kind of just barely creeping over the edge of the deck, just like that. That way when you push the card over, it's easy to just peel one. And this is what you're going to do. The thumb is planted on the deck here. You're going to very simply push the card over and pull it back. Push it over, pull it back. And you're going to just literally do this. It's boring, it sucks, but this is the drill. This is how you get good at the motion. And the reason for doing this is so that once you get into the actual pitch, you have the groundwork for it, because when you're pitching, the thumb does not leave the top of the deck. The thumb stays on the deck from here to here, here to here. The thumb stays right where it is on the top of the deck. Other than that, doing this drill is really good just to get the repetition in. If you can do this, the faster you can do this reliably, the faster you can pitch. Maybe. It's all about getting this motion down smoothly and quickly. As far as the pitch goes, or the actual flick of the card, this is another thing a lot of people get wrong. They use a lot of wrist motion, or they're using their whole arm to do it. I've even seen some dealers do this, where they're afraid to actually flick this card out for fear of flipping it over or whatever. And they'll actually do this. They'll extend their arms and kind of just drop it in front of the player. Don't ever do that. It's unprofessional, looks sloppy, and you gotta admit, it looks nice when you're sat here like this, arms closed in, and they go pew, 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 pew. Anyways, so as far as the actual flick goes, excuse me while I grab the straggler. As far as the actual flick goes, this is how you're gonna do it. So just grab a single card. You put the deck down. You grab a single card, and this is how you're going to hold it. So I'm going to assume you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, just mirror it. You're going to take your first finger, and it's going to be straight underneath the card. And your thumb is going to rest on the top corner here. And this is what that looks like from underneath. The first finger is extended underneath, and this is for stability. Without the card, you're pinching on this knuckle here, this sort of, I guess, second knuckle. You're pinching down like this. So when the card gets put there, this is what it looks like. And you'll notice if you just curl these fingers in naturally, the edge of your middle finger rests along the edge of the card here. So I can show that like this. And all you're doing is applying a little bit of pressure downwards here with your thumb, and you're applying pressure with the middle finger along the edge of the card. And it's going to bow and flex that card. And it's the release of that pressure that causes the card to go forward like this. So if you're sat here and you just kind of open your fingers like this and you let that middle finger flick out, that card just naturally sails away like that. So when you combine those two things together, this motion here and this motion here, elbows, keep your elbows in, keep the deck close to your body. Also, it helps to tilt the deck down a little bit, but you know, that's for another day. You're sat here. This is what you're gonna do. It's a marriage of the action, the two hands doing different things at the same time to accomplish the pitch, like that, clearly. To get a better, there, like that. This is how you combine those two things. So your hands are gonna be here. You're gonna push this card over as you reach for it. And what you do at this point, the thumb is gonna retract as you pull this card away and flick it out. Come over, thumb comes back to its starting position, and that's why doing this drill is important. You come up and come back, come up and come back, come up and come back. So you push it out. The card comes away as the thumb comes back, and the card goes out. Over, out, over, out, over, out. And the better you get at this, you can start speeding it up, and then eventually you'll it just comes with time. It's a muscle memory thing. Once you get the rhythm of it, it's very easy to speed it up. One thing I will tell you, I'm not sure if you know anything about music or anything like that. There's a tool that musicians use to practice. It's called a metronome. What it is it's a consistent click. If you download a metronome to your phone or your computer or whatever device you have, it can give you that click, and the goal would be to pitch off a card every beat, every click. So I don't have a click, but I'll do it the cringy way. Click, 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 and so on. You can set it to different speeds. You can go really slow or you can go really quick, but it's a great tool to practice. So this video ended up being way longer than I anticipated it, but that's okay. That's okay. Fuck, I might even just post this to Facebook and tag you in it or whatever, because there's no way I'm sending this, but oh well.